Alright. So, oops. Uh-oh. So basically, I'm making this video to probably explain what's been going on at the channel. Because it's not like I don't want to make certain types of content, but it's just... there's just more so a lot of stuff that's going on and a lot of content issues mostly run into, at least with the more modern games. So for example, like right now I'm using Suicide Squad as like a background game, and that's a lot of what I'm playing right now is a lot of background games, or things like Final Fantasy 16, where it's like I'm at like hour 75 I think and about to beat the game, but but I still have to do the DLC. But I'm like, I don't know how I would record Final Fantasy, at least without doing what I've already heard is like Final Fantasy mode, like a hard mode, essentially. And that's kind of like where I'm at, where there's only like a select few games that come out every now and then where I'm like, oh, I will have to record this or whatever. For example, some of the Resident Evil games, or Perfect Dark, especially since I'm just putting a video out that might come out before or after this. I might just put this out tonight. But like Perfect Dark, for example, I'm definitely going to be recording that the second it comes out, or the second I can play it, essentially, and I'll be playing and recording that. Or like, for example, I'll never stop uploading combo videos for stuff I've found with characters I'm playing with in fighting games. Speaking of which, probably Akuma stuff coming soon, because I haven't been playing Akuma. But I may not always, like the pressure of, especially for fighting games, recording ranked and playing ranked. Like sometimes it's just hard depending on the game just to play ranked, let alone like want to record and then upload it, because I do like to have all of my matches up there, and I don't want to be like, oh, I just post the wins or whatever. I like to have the whole journey, but at the same time there's like a lot of pressure, which is why I've been trying to do stuff like record the replays, but then I've spent way too much time with the game loaded just to record replays to then have to edit a video, even though you have to edit the ranked videos down regardless anyways. But it was just like doubling the time, and so I just haven't found like a good way, at least from the fighting game stuff, to record things outside of just like whenever I make combos for people. So I haven't found anything super swag for Akuma yet. I've tried a bunch of stuff, but I haven't like found anything worth posting or anything. Like nothing that isn't already in the combo cards. It's a very new like type of character for me to learn. While he's not like, I mean, he is kind of complicated in the sense that all the other characters are, but like I've never had to do one frame, like not one frame cancels, but like these like really quick cancels basically in Street Fighter before. I'm not the greatest at like these shorter cancel windows, and I have the same problem sometimes with like Light Linkers and Killer Instinct. But yeah, so this all is basically coming down to, there's all these modern games that are these on the other side of things, on the non-fighting game front, there's all these like modern games that are like 80 to 100 plus hour games that I'm not always like, I'm not even sure if I'm gonna like the game half the time. And then I'm like, well, then I have to also decide that I'm gonna record. And recording isn't always like the easiest thing to do, so it's just like this double added layer of stress. So the stuff I have been planning, I just haven't like, yet I have to like set them up. is more like tougher game content, where like I might do something in the later future. And I don't want to promise anything, but like stuff that's more likely to happen outside of things like Perfect Dark or a new Resident Evil game or Devil May Cry is like more harder runs on those types of games, or games that I have played, so I know. So like that's why I'm saying Final Fantasy 16. I could do like a Final Fantasy mode run later. I'm not gonna do all of the side quests. I'll just like a main quest run essentially, and playing that on hard mode, because I think that would be fun. But like, if I had recorded this whole 75 plus hours or 100 hour thing, I don't know. Like, there's only a select couple games where I feel comfortable doing that. Or like, if I've been playing like some Fallout and stuff like that. Like, I don't know if it, like those are games for me, or this, for example, are games for me where I'm like brain off, trying to like watch or catch up on news or something. It doesn't make sense to me to like to make a bunch of content around stuff where I'm just like trying to relax and not be entertained or like totally sucked into the game, but also be like distracted by something else. Or like a Mass Effect run that, like, I do a Mass Effect run all the time. Like that maybe is more likely, but games that where it's like getting towards that length, especially Dragon Age Inquisition, where it's like a 100-hour plus game, I have to like really know the content going into it before I think I'd record it, because it's just so much like unknown factors with the games nowadays, especially if I don't know anything about it. Where I have to scout the game essentially to know. And the games like this, where it's like, I love Suicide Squad, I love doing like some of these like wacky combos and playing this game to do things like that. But like, I don't necessarily know how to build a content structure around that I think I enjoy. I know other people can do it, but it's not something that I think I'm either good at or enjoy doing myself. So I'm trying to stick to stuff where it's like, oh man, I love a Resident Evil game, I love the puzzle, getting like occasionally spooked and things like that. But like, especially because I don't play a game like this for RPG mechanics, I'm playing it to like goof on enemies, things like that. So it's like, I'm not gonna be explaining you the map of Suicide Squad or anything, or gambling on a Final Fantasy game that I've never played before and saying like, oh yeah, let's go through this whole game. Like, Mass Effect is, like I was saying, the closest game I can get to that, because I've literally played this game like, with Mass Effect like I'm on my 4th playthrough, I think? So that's more likely on the RPG front. But that's like half the games out these days are like these big RPGs. And the thing that was killing me before too was I would start a game, but then and like put out videos and be like, okay, I'm doing good. But then it was just, I either ended up not liking it, or it's just too much of a slog to play through it as like a recorded game or something. I just don't know if it's gonna be something that makes sense. And I don't want to like be forcing myself to play a game to be like, oh yeah, okay, so just so like this one person, so these people who got invested in it, but then are waiting for me to finish it, but now I'm like not invested in the game, and just being like, yeah, well, would you rather I finish the game begrudgingly, or I just like kind of ended at the high note that it was at, kind of thing. So that's why it's kind of turned into more of like this, I scout the game unless it's like a Devil May Cry type situation, where we're kind of going with that. But like I said, there are games where we will get back to some of those like day one, because I do like that idea of like the day one first reaction. Like, there's some things like even in Final Fantasy 16 I'm like, oh damn, this was crazy, but like at the same time I'm like, I would not have wanted to record like 17 million other things in that game, but I do want to be playing like the side quests and stuff. So it's like this, that's what I'm saying, there's like this weird balance, for me at least, where I'm like not this super like dead time streamer where I'm sure I can fill it up with like a bunch of new stuff at first and like thoughts about like certain gaming opinions and things like that, but and inevitably they're all gonna they're all just gonna turn into like the same conversation I've said 17,000 times before, and all the dead time, and I don't want it to be old man tells the same story 17 times.
Brainiac's gonna run out of troops.
And And so yeah, that's why I don't record things like this. Or just like, yeah, like this is what like as I'm playing this, it's just like, yeah, I'm just bopping on people. So if I didn't have anything to say, like if I was just playing this game, I was like, oh man, watch me grind to like Mastery 1000. I feel like that's, or I don't even know if I'm gonna get that high, but like that I just don't feel like it's an enjoyable thing, at least. And that's not to say like I think the game's bad or something, or like not content creatable. But like when I'm looking, for example, at Devil May Cry and like cool combos and stuff, it's like watching you beat the boss, or like someone beat a boss with like their own flair on it. That's like kind of what you can do in this game, but not in the same way that I would like record a Devil May Cry thing. Because it's just like, well, I've made my like Harley build where I'm doing all my stuff, but and it's fun for me to do this. But I can't imagine, like if I did this for like an hour, people would be like, "Oh man, what a good! That's so fun." This is like, no, I want brain off. Like I said, I think I said it already. I'm already see this is the problem. It's got to be it's a brain off rambling. I'm like catching up on news kind of game.
You guys, you make me so proud. You see what we can achieve when we stick to the rules.
So yeah, that's what I'm just saying. Like that's the direction of probably where the channel is gonna go. I don't want to like promise that there's gonna be any kind of weekly content or certain games ahead of time, other than Perfect Dark, or like a Devil May Cry 6. Like those you, if Devil May Cry 6 ever comes out, or and when Perfect Dark comes out after that gets canceled, oh my god. I thought Scaled Bond was bad, but if for some reason they canceled this at this point, I would. Microsoft will never get anything from me ever again at that point. So yeah, there'll be stuff, but there's just not going to be. It's still going to be what I probably put in my last update, which is, unless I know it's something I probably can record and do or put out, or I'm okay with, like, for example, I think I did some Dragon Ball Breakers at one point, or if I were to play Fusion World or record like Fusion World games, maybe, like I'd be fine with like one-off multiplayer things. But if I'm gonna do like a single-player game, it's gonna be like, all right, I've played the game, I know I'm gonna finish it, I know what I'm expecting. It might be a challenge run, it may not be a challenge run, like another potential one, and I think I spitballed this last time, but I keep getting in between like all sorts of other things, like other ideas. Would be like a Hitman playthrough, because Hitman's another game that I really enjoy, and it could be like, oh, I've never done like a sniper, like a pure sniper run, so like that could be something. But again, I keep like changing the platform I play it on, and then I need to like unlock the weapons to make sure I can actually do a sniper run. That makes sense, because I don't even think you start with a sniper. So yeah, it's things like that, and then I also have my other own side projects that I'm trying to start up that have nothing to do with the new YouTube channel. It could eventually, but like, as zero things to do with the YouTube channel that I'm spinning up in the other background. So there is like I said, it's not that I've tried to abandon content. It's just I've been filtering down what I actually want to record and put on the channel, and then put it up there. So lately, it's just been, and it probably will be for a while. I don't anticipate I'll record anything soon, but it's pretty much just going to be things like the random combo video here and there for a fighting game. And probably more Perfect Dark stuff. If they release more trailers, there's always going to be more stuff for that. But as far as playthrough stuff goes, I guess on the topic of one of those, is this like another one I was playing recently is Red Alert, but I was like, the way I play Command & Conquer Red Alert is just psychotic, where I'm going like in and out of the save screen multiple times, plus playing on console. Everyone's gonna be upset about that. So it's just like, It's just like very nitpicky things that would bother me. Like even if I were to play Command and Conquer and I was like, oh, just edit out like every time you go in the save menu or whatever, it'll just just the hard cut on everything is gonna be so weird for me to that. Like the way I want things to play out more is how like the Resident Evil 4 stuff looks like on my channel. So like, especially I think the Ada DLC is probably, I don't remember if 4 was exactly what it was, where it's like the 1 hour segment broken up, recorded, like in that segment. I'm pretty sure that's how I did at least the Ada DLC. I'm pretty sure that's how I did Resident Evil 4, but yeah, that is like what I'm looking for in basically, and like it might be a little more or less than an hour or whatever feels like a good stopping point to like take a break around that hour point, because that's usually like a good time to stretch and do stuff anyways. But oh no. Oh good. I thought the mic wasn't recorded. I was like, it wasn't on my source channels for a second. But yeah, no, that's the direction I want the content to look like. And then I still, whenever I have time, although this is like, this still will never happen, most likely, or it'll be very rare, even more rare than probably the other stuff. But like the real moments where I actually edited a thing with music behind it on like a highlight of some stuff that happened in a playthrough or whatever. That, I think those are fun. That's actually the most fun I have editing. I obviously, probably, but like, yeah, no, I definitely want to do stuff like that, but obviously you need to make the content first for you to be able to do that in the first place. So I can't have highlights if I don't record anything that I'm having fun playing at all. So yeah, that's just like the whole juggling mess I've had. Plus, not to mention, I think last time I was like, oh yeah, things will get better because I got this new PC, and then I realized how even with a dual PC setup, it's still very like difficult, especially if you have like other things going on the screen, or like you're monitoring, especially like if, for example, I tried streaming. That would take up processing power as well if I wanted to like monitor the stream, so I'd have to like monitor the stream and the capture on my other PC to make sure like resources weren't being taken up. So actually now the funny irony is that it's not only more efficient to run things on my PS5, even without capture involved to begin with. It's not only more efficient to run things on my PS5, but then also it's even easier, like setting up this capture, even though I didn't have to do one of the methods I need to do for PC, it was like 10 times easier. Get this going, and like it just runs smoother because I don't have the extra VRAM being taken up for the OBS. So yeah, it was like everything just got into like this weird state where it was just like, oh, I'll capture everything on PC, and then I was waiting for like this avatar to show up, because then I thought, oh yeah, I like this avatar idea and I like the VTuber, the PNG tuber thing, but I wanted to like wait until I had a PC I could run the games properly, and then I was waiting for the avatar, and I got the avatar and the PC, and then it turns out, yeah, that's when I ran into those problems. So yeah, back to square one. I won't be, it's not like there's going to be a bunch of games though that I will re-record. Like, some of them they might. Resident Evil, like I said. There's a chance I could come back. I'm not going to re-record probably 2 or 3. I'm actually even replaying 3 right now.
Joker's propensity for violence.
And maybe 3, just because it's like one of my favorite Resident Evils of all time. I will be doing one of 8 though at some point, and probably 7 because I never did 7. And I do want to. I never played 8 in third person, but I did play 8, so those will happen. But unless the game was like really good, I'm not going to. Like for example, like that's what I was saying. Like Resident Evil 2. Although I keep thinking about it. Because Resident Evil 2 was like on a PlayStation capture. Oh god, I hate these things when you're in slow motion. If you're playing Suicide Squad, you know. Well, okay, I kept saying like Resident Evil 2 I won't, but like I recorded Resident Evil 2 on the PS4 and it had like horrible like capture quality because I think I captured the stream, then downloaded the stream from YouTube, edited it, and then it got like hella compressed and it's like really bad. But I don't know if I'll redo the no HUD runs. Those are so stressful. And once I finished it, I was like, you know what, I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it for 3, but like, if I'm gonna re-record again, I'll have to find some other gimmick or something. Because I can't.
Standing tall and seeing far, behold the power of the stars.
In the killing game, I got the quick fire round.
So yeah, I don't want to say like I'm gonna re-record certain things again unless there's like a good reason. So yeah, that's why everything's been like basically non-existent on the channel. I don't know if there's any, I know I'm just like kind of like soft rambling in circles now. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else worth mentioning. I mean, if people wanted to see Suicide Squad, I don't know. I've been replaying because I had actually cross-bought this on PC and console, so I'm replaying through the story. Although it's really weird to replay the story after you've like completed missions because some parts of it just like don't connect. And at least from a single player's perspective, on Invasion 7, I think I'm on, and not having characters like I bet if I put the Invasion level down, the bosses would be a little bit better. But man, just playing the bosses single player, I don't know if it's any better multiplayer, but ooh. Yeah, no. If people wanted to see that, I guess I would play through this one more time, the campaign. But I'm really just like I said, it's a grinding, brain off. I'm just doing the crime kind of game for me, where I'm trying to catch the news. Yeah, I would not expect any big games at this point. I think Andromeda was probably the closest we got to that, and I know I was saying how the BioWare games are unlike, like, another example, KOTOR. I'm playing through that right now. I can't imagine recording that right now. I'd have to play through KOTOR if I liked it this much. I'd have to play it through like a couple times before I would be like, okay, this I could record. If there's like a smaller, older game or something though, like I think at one point after probably all the Doom stuff, like the old Doom games, like that's something where I have never played them before. At least like not to a state where I remember everything, if I did play them. Or like playing through like all the old Mortal Kombat stories or arcades or something like that. Like I would definitely do stuff like that blind, or like things that are like 10 hours, or like for example, I think Vanquish might be another one. Like 360s era type games. Because even I think I tried Spider-Man at one point. Spider-Man was another game. Sorry, now this is just like another ramble story, but Spider-Man was another game where I was like, oh man, I love Spider-Man. But then I started to realize I was having the same problem. It's just like once you hit the side content in some of these games, it's just so hard. Where it's like, yeah, I'm gonna grind out all the backpacks. Like if I'd have to do again. Spider-Man's like one of those examples where if I finish it after a couple times and then I'm like gonna play it on Spectacular or Amazing or whatever the hardest mode is, that's where that's why I record Spider-Man, which to me kind of like sucks because I'm not even at like I'm still just trying to finish the first game with the DLC. I still haven't played the DLC of the first game, but like I know obviously we know Venom and Miles Morales and all that stuff are in the other games. But I'm just like, there's gonna be so many cool moments I'm sure in like all these games where it's like, oh, the first reaction would be so sick, but like
Watch me, not the wire.
I just don't know how to record those games. So that's all I'm just trying to say. Is if there's gonna be a first reaction game, it's those options are limited. And if it's a very long game, I probably will not do it at all. So yeah, hopefully that's enough. I feel like I've gotten better at some of these rambles because I'm looking at this time, and what used to be my other Perfect Dark video from however long ago that was, a couple years ago, it's like 40 minutes. The one I'm uploading now is like just about a half an hour, and this is like 25. So I feel like we're at a happy balance here of ramble to info ratio. We're cutting them down. Oh yeah, no. I was just thinking of games that there was potential to record, but I'm just not gonna say anything because, like I said, there's no guarantee. I can't guarantee it. But whenever the next video does come out, it should just be a thing that's locked, loaded, ready to go, and it's gonna be a complete series or a one-off multiplayer thing. So hopefully I will see you guys in that, and thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.